Hey my dear warriors, welcome to the JEE English channel. This is Shreyas here, your captain, your navigator, your friend, your teacher, your guide for this amazing journey which you're going to nail in just a matter of couple of weeks. So I'm pretty sure you're all excited to start with me the last leg of your JEE Mains preparation for your April attempt. Many of you might have been done with boards, at least majority of the exams. Some of your board exams might be starting if you are in some different board. But irrespective of that, you need to attend these crash course classes, at least live or recorded, because these sessions are going to hit the nail on the most important topics for all of you. And welcome aboard. Thank you for all the warm welcome, Muthu, Faima, Priya, Blessy, Roman, Shaku, Riddhi, Arun, J Aspirant. Hello Selva. Hello everyone. Nice to see all of you. Vanakkam, bonjour, hola, Sat Shri Akal guys. Welcome aboard. And my name is Shreyas and I am the physics master teacher, also teaching English, also teaching maths, also teaching your mental ability, and God knows which other subject is going to come up next. So if you want to know more about me, you can definitely get to know about me on my Instagram handle, that's captain_Shreyas. And this is the 11th standard syllabus crash course. And some of you might have already seen the schedule which I had put up on the community. I'll just show it to you as you're watching the channel. In the community page, if you just go there, you will see the entire weekly schedule is there. So today, kinematics, 2D relative motion. Tuesday, Newton's law circular. Wednesday, center of mass collisions rotation. Thursday, Friday, Saturday is going to be a mock test of the entire 11th standard syllabus. This session is predominantly meant for problem solving, PYQs, revision, and also learning the new tips and tricks of solving the questions. That's what these sessions are for. So 10:30 every day. Okay, I hope you guys understood what it is. After the session, you're going to get daily practice problems. Before the session, I will try to give you summary notes, or basically short notes for revising the chapter. Those of you who do not know where to get the short notes, please let everybody else also know. It's there in the Telegram channel. Where is the Telegram channel? Link is there in the description box. Join the Telegram channel for absolutely free of cost. You're going to get summary notes, short notes for all the chapters as I'm going to teach. That's the best thing that you can get for your ultimate JEE revision. Not just that, you're also going to get daily practice problems after the session is over. And at the end of the week, the mock test. So all of this in this amazing JEE crash course for all of you. Hope you have smashed the like button out there. Let's begin with the first question coming up on your screen. This session will be quite long, not very long, but expect anywhere between 1.5 hours to 2.5 hours. Okay, great. Awesome. Yes, the target is more than 95 percentile. In fact, I'm aiming for 99 percentile for all of you. But 95 percentile will not be enough to get you a seat in NIT. Okay, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Okay, so let's quickly make a mental map of what and all is there in 1D, 2D and basically your relative motion. See, basically, if you talk about 1D kinematics or 1D motion in general, okay, the main things that you need to revise is basically distance, displacement, then obviously your speed, velocity, then obviously your acceleration, okay, all these are quantities that you're going to revise. Then after that comes the relation between these quantities. Why are different kinds of equation? Now there are two kinds of motion which are possible. One is basically your uniform motion. In case of uniform motion, you can use your kinematic equations. How many kinematic equations are there, guys? There are 1, 2, 3 and 4. Fourth equation here is your displacement in nth second formula, which is u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. The other things everybody knows. V is u plus at, s is ut plus half at square, v square is u square plus 2as. This is when uniform acceleration, that means acceleration is basically constant. But there is a special case when you have non-uniform motion, that means acceleration is not constant. In that case, you have to use derivatives. From position you go to velocity, from velocity you can go to acceleration by taking derivatives. I hope you remember this. Velocity is nothing but derivative of position. Acceleration is nothing but derivative of velocity. If you want to go reverse, you use integration. From velocity to displacement, you use integration of velocity with time. To go from acceleration to velocity, you use integration of acceleration with respect to time. That's how you get the velocities. Remember that? Yep. And all these are basically related to area under the curve. This is related to slope of the curve. Slopes is derivatives, areas is integration. That's what you need to keep in mind. Right? Now, after learning these basics, the next set of things that you need to learn is basically free fall motion. Free fall motion. Free fall motion, you should know both the things. Number one, projecting a ball up and it comes down. Knowing the time, the maximum height and the other things. And also basically dropping a ball from some height, the speed as well as the time of flight. These are the things that you should focus on in 1D motion. Is this mind map clear, guys? Is it giving you a gist of all the things that you need to revise? It's a beautiful mind map I'm creating right in front of you so that you revise all the things at home looking at these mind maps. Right? Amazing, amazing. Great, great. Next important thing in 1D. Okay? In 1D, you have relative motion. I do not separate out relative motion, as a separate chapter. You can think of it as a part of 1D only. So relative 1D motion problems also are going to be there, guys. So maybe I'll use a different color. Okay. So you also have relative motion. So when you have relative motion, you have relative displacement, relative velocity, relative acceleration, relative kinematic equations, and you might have problems of basically shortest approach or separation. These kind of questions can be there, or time taken to overtake, okay, or time taken to cross, or time taken to meet. These kind of questions are very common in relative one dimension question. One ball is dropped from the top, one ball is thrown from below. After what time do they meet? Or one bike is going here, another car is overtaking that bike. After how much time will he overtake? Length of the truck, length of the bus is given. How much time will they take to overtake each other? Two trains are crossing. How much time do they take to cross each other? These are common questions. Yep. So this is 1D. If you talk about 2D, right? If you talk about 2D motion, let's go to 2-dimension motion. So if you talk about 2-dimensional motion, then again here you need to know your position, displacement, velocity, acceleration in the 2D form, basically in I cap, J cap, K cap form. Remember, when you have 2-dimension motion, when a particle is going in 2D, the X component, the Y component, Z component, 3 components can change, or if it is in 3D, that is. So velocity can have 3 components if it is 3D. If it is 2D, then 2 components. If acceleration is there, it will also have X, Y and Z. So accordingly, you need to find the individual components. That's what you need to focus on. And you can also use kinematics over here. One common kind of question which can come in 2D or 3D is the questions on trajectory. Remember that. What is trajectory? It's an equation which does not have time in it. Like y is equal to 5x square, 7z plus 5x is equal to 0, or 5y square minus 3x cube is equal to 0. These equations are only in y, x or z, only the coordinates, no time in it. That is called trajectory equation. Yep, everybody? Awesome, awesome. You're going to get the mind maps. Play with me, try to recollect with me, use the short notes which I have posted on the Telegram, try to see all these things. Or if you have your own short notes, it's going to be even better. Okay, you can relate all these things. Now, the main thing in the chapter is basically your projectile motion. And there are 2 kinds of projectile motion which you should be aware of. Number one is where you throw a ball or an object and it goes like this. Here you should know the time of flight, maximum height, range, the equation of trajectory, all these things. The second thing which you should know is where you throw a ball from a cliff and the ball goes up and comes down over here. So this kind of trajectory also you should study. You should know how to solve it using kinematic equations. Okay, so projectile from a hill or projectile from the ground and it lands at the ground. These are the two main projectiles that you should know. Apart from that, you should also know inclined plane projectile. Okay, very few times the problems come on it, but if it comes, you should know at least the time and the range formula. That's all. Only the time and the range formula is more than enough for JEE mains level. You don't need to know much apart from basic things that you know x and y axis are slightly tilted in inclined plane projectile. Okay, in 2D also you have relative motion, my dear students. Here also you have relative motion, but in this relative motion you have different kinds of problems. The most famous being your river boat problem or river man problem, whatever you want to call it. Here you also have rain man problems which are very, very important, which come repeatedly in your JEE mains. Also you might get questions on just finding the relative velocity, displacement, acceleration, or basically in general some relative term will be asked to you, that if the ship is going this way, if the plane is going this way, what direction will the ship see the plane moving? Those kind of things. Okay, so expect these kind of questions in 2D relative motion. Is the mind map clear? Can we start with some questions? Ready for some questions? Everyone, put up fire. Put up the fire, guys. Rain fire in the chat box. Let's begin with some questions coming up on your screen. Here is the first question up on your screen. All right, there we go. There we go. Yep. A driver applies brakes to the vehicle on seeing a traffic signal. At the time of applying the brakes, the vehicle was moving with 15 meters per second. If he starts retarding at 0.3, the distance of the vehicle after 1 minute from the traffic light is? What do you think, guys? Come on, think about it. After a very long time, he would have braked. So basically, this means after he has stopped, how much distance he would have traveled? Just check this out. Come on. Which equation are you going to use? V square is u square plus 2as. Do you know the final velocity? Yes, it's 0. Do you know the initial velocity? I think I know it. What was his speed? 15. So 15 square plus 2 into retardation is there. So that is minus 0.3 into your displacement. So therefore the displacement will be nothing but 15 square by 2 into 0.3, which is basically 225 divided by 0.6. How much is it going to be? Many of you have posted the answer. Yes, 375 meters. Is it there in the option? Option B. But no, that will not be the answer. Be careful. That is why you're solving questions with me. When the car is moving, it slowly reduces the speed and it stops. It stops over here. It has moved 375. It was 400 meters from the traffic signal. From the traffic signal, it is how many meters? 400 meters. So how much will this be? Think about it. The actual distance will be 400 minus 375. Yes or no? Exactly. The answer will be 25 meters. Now, did you understand what kind of silly mistakes can happen? So, correct answer is option A, which is 25 meters. Very good. Awesome. Yes, Kavya, you can even watch it for NEET. Next question. Which of the following is false? Which of the following is false? Selva Kumar, what is the use of 1 minute? Okay, even before going ahead, can we discuss this? What is the use of that 1 minute? That 1 minute is just to confuse you. You can even check by putting that time whether the car actually stops or not. Just put it. Okay, V is equal to U plus 80 you can use. V is equal to U plus 80. Just put time as, don't even put time as 1 minute. find out how much time it takes to stop. Final velocity 0, initial velocity 15, acceleration is 0.3 with a negative sign. That's it. You will see that this value of time will be less than 1 minute. That means it has stopped. Yep, that's all. Yes, these kind of questions do come, Sadhana, trust me. Just open up January paper. Why should I lie? Just open up the January paper and you are going to find what kind of questions have come. Which of the following statement is false? A body can have zero velocity and still be accelerated. A body can have constant velocity and still have varying speed. A body can have constant speed and still have varying velocity. Or the direction of the velocity of the body can change when its acceleration is constant. Some of you are saying C, some of you are saying A, majority of you are saying B. Motion in 1D and 2D, yes, it belongs to kinematics. My voice is 60 to 70% better, bacha. It's not completely fine. I think by tomorrow I should be able to recover. You can probably feel that haziness or huskiness in my voice right now because still, there's some problem. But still, I hope I'm able to conduct the class. Yeah, correct answer B. Right, guys. A body can have zero velocity and be accelerated. I'll give you the scenario for option A. Look at this. A body being thrown up and it comes down. What happens at this point? The velocity is 0, but the acceleration due to gravity is still there. So definitely A is possible. If you look at option B, a body can have constant velocity and still have varying speed. That is not possible at all. How can you get this? Constant velocity and varying speed? No, speed has to remain constant. A body can have constant speed and still have varying velocity, definitely. For this option C, right? Look at this. Constant speed, 5 meters per second, 5 meters per second, 5 meters per second. Speed is constant, but direction is changing. So direction can change, so that way the velocity can change. If you look at option D, right? The direction of the velocity can change when the acceleration is constant, definitely. So for option D, right, take the example of projectile motion. Can you not see the velocity is continuously changing the direction? Here velocity is different, here velocity is different, here velocity is different, but acceleration due to gravity is always the same. So acceleration is constant, but direction of velocity is changing. So even D option is possible. Only B cannot be possible. Yep. Even in circular motion, no. Lot of you are giving the example of circular motion, acceleration is constant. Is that true? What Hari Prasad and Selva Kumar has said? Good, you guys brought it up. Is acceleration constant in uniform circular motion? Think and tell me. Is acceleration constant in uniform circular motion? Lot of you are giving that example for option D. Acceleration, sir, obviously sir, V square by R is constant. Yeah, the magnitude is constant. Magnitude is constant, but is the direction constant? Direction is not constant. So direction of acceleration is not constant. So acceleration is not constant. No. Yep. Very good. Yeah. So circular motion will not be an example for option D. Understand the misconcepts. That's what you're going to learn from all these questions. It's not about reading the theory. If you read NCERT for physics, fine. Maybe it will increase your marks by 5 marks. But if you solve problems, it will increase your marks by 50. Okay, so that's the difference of reading theory for physics versus solving problems. Displacement is related to time as AT plus BT square minus CT cube. Some constants are there. Velocity of the particle when acceleration is 0 is given by. Now I'll tell you a trick while solving these kind of questions. I have seen so many students getting confused while solving the problems because the moment you find acceleration, the symbol A over here and this constant A, you might get confused. Understood what I'm trying to say? This A is not acceleration. But when you find acceleration, that symbol A, you might confuse it with this constant. You might make some stupid, silly mistake. So better to change the constants here. Don't change the symbol of acceleration, change the constant only. So what I will do is, I'll write x as alpha t plus beta t square minus gamma t cube. Okay, alpha, beta, gamma, same thing, doesn't matter. So if you find velocity, which is the derivative, so this will become alpha into 1 plus beta into 2t, okay, minus gamma into 3t square. So that is velocity. So from this I can also find acceleration. Acceleration will be derivative of this. So derivative will be 0 plus beta into 2 minus gamma into 3 into 2t. So question says when the acceleration is 0. When the acceleration is 0. So let's use that point. So if acceleration is going to be a big fat 0, this will be equal to 2 beta minus 6 gamma t. Okay, so shift it. 6 gamma t is equal to 2 beta. 6 gets cancelled with this 2 1 times, and this is 3 times. So time will be basically beta by 3 gamma. Now use this time to find the velocity of the particle. The question says, what is the velocity of the particle? So the velocity of the particle will be alpha plus beta into 2 into time. Time is beta by 3 gamma. Beta by 3 gamma minus gamma into 3t square. So 3 into t square means beta square by 3 square gamma square. Just check out how much does it come out to be, guys. Just check out how much does it come out to be. Alpha plus this will be 2 by 3 beta square by gamma minus 3 cancels, 1 gamma cancels, so 1/3 beta square by gamma. So I think it should be alpha plus beta square by 3 gamma. Basically instead of alpha you put A, instead of beta you put B, instead of gamma you put C. So there is one option only. Exactly, my dear students, option C. That's it. Very good. Very good. Very good. Understood? Easy peasy. So did you also see the tip or trick that I gave you over here? Whenever you see A, B, C, especially for velocity acceleration problems, try to replace it with other symbols. Not just in this question, in some other question also. If you don't like the symbols, change it. It doesn't matter. But don't get confused and don't make silly mistakes. Okay? Alright, moving on. A car starts moving with constant acceleration covering distances between 2 points 180 meters apart in 6 seconds. The speed as it goes through the second point is 45. What is the acceleration? Yep. These kind of questions. We are going to solve all kinds of questions. Let's try to see this. First of all, the 2 points are 180 meters apart. So the 2 points are 180 meters apart. If it starts here at 0 seconds, after 6 seconds, it reaches here. As it passes to the second point, its speed is 45 meters per second. 45 meters per second. What's the acceleration? I don't know. What's the initial velocity? That also I don't know. Question is find the acceleration. Let's see which all equations can we actually sit and use. Maybe final velocity is given. Maybe I can use v is u plus at because time is also there. So v is u plus at. If I use that, I will get 45 is equal to u plus acceleration into 6. Okay, that is one equation. Another equation, displacement and time. Okay, so how about s is basically ut plus half at square. Displacement is 180. Initial velocity is u. Time is 6. Acceleration, I don't know. Time again 6, so 6 square. So this will become 180 is equal to 6u, and 6 square is 36. 36 by 2 is 18. So it will become 18a. Okay. Now look at this equation and look at this equation. I think you can solve both of them simultaneously. You can solve both of them simultaneously. If you want, you can just multiply this by 6. So if you just multiply this by 6, u and u will get cancelled. Basically 6u and 6u will get cancelled. So this can become 45 into 6 is equal to 6u plus 36a. Just multiplying LHS as well as RHS by 6. Now just have to subtract both of them. Just have to subtract both of them. See what happens. So 45 into 6 minus 180 is equal to 6u, and 6u gets cancelled. Here I will have 36a minus 18a, which is basically again 18a only. Here what is this? 45 into 6, 270. 270 minus 180 is basically 90. So acceleration will be 90 by 18, which is basically 5 meters per second square. Exactly. Awesome. Very good, Suchi Mama. You revised 3 chapters till now. Great. I'm guessing your board exam is at a slightly different point of time. Yep. Very good. Option A, it is 5. So 2 equations, 2 unknowns simultaneously. You have to solve it. That's it. That's all about it. Okay. But understanding At that point of time, solving it within 40 seconds is very important, because you're going to save time in these questions and you're going to use it for a much more larger question or a lengthier question. Moving on to next question coming up on your screen. This is one of the most important questions, because so many times I have seen this concept coming in the JEE Mains exam. If the power is constant, what is the distance proportional to? Yeah, Shaku, you can do the other way around also. You can divide by 6 the other equation and solve it. It's one and the same thing. You can do whatever you want. It's at the end of the day 2 equations. You multiply by 2 or divide by 2, multiply by 6 or divide by 6. Fine, does not matter. You will get the same answer. So power is constant. So power's formula, if you remember, then probably you can proceed ahead. Power is force into velocity. Force is mass into acceleration. Okay. Acceleration is derivative of velocity. Looks like, because power is constant and you have to find who is proportional to whom, most likely you have to integrate few things to find out what is the exact relationship. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to move this around. So I'll get V dV is equal to V into dV. Take dt on the top, take mass below. So it will become P dt divided by m. Now I can integrate this. Now I can integrate this as well as this. So what will happen? This will become V square by 2 is equal to P by m t. Okay, the constant of integration becomes 0, because even if you put the limits, that's what is going to happen. At 0 time, you can just put the limits. At 0 time, the velocity was 0. At time t, the velocity is v. So the constant of integration will not be there. Okay, so V square by 2 will become P by m into t. So from this I will get V square is equal to 2P by m into t, or rather V is equal to root of 2P by m and t raised to half. Reason why I did this is because I have just found out velocity. What will I do now? Read the question. Distance with the time. From velocity, can you find how much is the distance or the displacement? Of course. What do you need to do? Integrate. Exactly. And now, because you have studied 12th standard maths, it becomes very easy for you to solve these kind of questions. So x will be integral v dt. So just integrate this, guys. So the root constants will just come outside. You will just have t raised to half dt's integration. So x will become that root whatever is there. Integration of t raised to half is basically t raised to 3 by 2 by 3 by 2. Basically you will have root and basically some constants over here and t raised to 3 by 2. So don't you see, x is proportional to time raised to 3 by 2, which is option A. Yep. I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. So this question involved derivatives. Many students end up doing some kind of mistake over here like this. Power is equal to force into velocity. Because power is constant, they say velocity is constant, and then they say, oh, velocity is constant, that means displacement is directly proportional to time. That is wrong. Okay, so that is definitely wrong. This is a completely wrong thing to do, because force is also going to change, because force is dependent on velocity. Some people also use another wrong thing over here. For acceleration, they write it is nothing but v minus u by t. Acceleration is v minus u by t and initial velocity is 0, so it is v by t. So then they write this mass into acceleration as m into v by t into v. Is this correct or wrong? I feel this is wrong. Why? How is acceleration v minus u by t? It's not correct, because it is true only when acceleration is constant. Who said this is uniform motion? Is this uniform motion? Definitely not, because things are varying. So you cannot use this. You cannot substitute that over here. So these are the mistakes which generally students end up doing. Or maybe you do it in some another question. And I want you guys to avoid these mistakes in any kind of question. Understand whether it is uniform or non-uniform. Yeah, I hope this is clear. No, power is not energy by time. It is the rate of change of derivative of energy with respect to time. There is a big difference. Energy by time is completely different from dE by dt. Okay? Thank you. I'm so glad, Mansi, it has helped you a lot. All the best, bacha, for your remaining examinations. Moving on. Time is root of x plus 3. Root of x is separate, 3 is separate. The displacement when velocity is going to be 0 is how much? Teja already saying I do this kind of mistakes in many exams. Yes, that's why I'm doing all these sessions for all of you guys. I'll put a laws of motion problem solving video. Yes, that's going to be the next chapter, Bacha Jinendra. So over here, the speciality is that time is a function of x. What will you do? Because you generally solve problems when you know displacement or position as a function of time. Convert this problem into this exact reverse function. So because time minus 3 will be root of x, square this will become t minus 3 whole square is basically equal to x. Now what I can do is x is basically t minus 3 whole square. I want to find when the velocity is 0. Okay, when the velocity is 0, so I need to differentiate this. Velocity is dx by dt. We all know how to take derivative of this function. It is 2 into t minus 3 into inside's derivative. Inside function derivative is going to be 1. This is x square. X square's derivative is 2x. Inside function is t minus 3. That guy's derivative is just 1. So that is the velocity. So if velocity is 0, therefore 2 into t minus 3 is 0. Therefore t minus 3 is 0. Therefore t is basically 3 seconds. If time is 3 seconds, then what is the value of x? X will be t, which is 3 minus 3 whole square, which is basically 0 meters. 0 is not there in the answer, so hence option D should be correct. Option D should be correct. How many of you got this? Yep. And how many of you are going to hesitate or going to be afraid to mark none of these in the exam? How many of you guys get scared when you see none of these in the exam? Trust me, it is actually the scariest kind of question which you can get in any kind of examination. Because when you have to mark none of these, that means you need to be really sure other 3 options are not correct, and you should not make any kind of silly mistake. It's very, very challenging. So given a choice, I would prefer not to solve questions with options of none of these. Instead, I would always try to solve questions which does not have none of these, or it has an option called all of these. How many of you like solving questions which has all of these? Or you would have found it easier to solve questions which has all of these, because you just need to check any of the 2 options. If you feel that yeah, most likely the 2 options are correct, you don't have to check the 3rd option. And there was a survey done, there was a study done that whenever you see questions which have all of these as the option, there is a good chance that that option is correct. Yep, most of the times all of these options is correct. But whenever you see none of these questions, very rarely it is correct. But when it is correct, that is the problem and you lose marks for that. So these are some things and tips for the exam which I am giving you guys. Okay, moving on. And I can see many of you love all of these questions. Great. You can use chain rule, but definitely I have used chain rule only. If you notice, this is chain rule at the end of the day. Oh, over here you want me to use, that will be unnecessarily complicating it. So it's better within 2 steps I can get x as a function of time. Or else I could have, if it was a complex function, then I would have taken derivative on both sides and written down dx by dt is v and all of that. Okay, here it is not required. Particle is moving with the east, speed of 5, 10 seconds, direction changes towards the north, speed remains the same. The question is, what is the average acceleration of that particular particle? Okay, that's the question. What's the average acceleration of that particular particle in that time? So, if my initial velocity was towards the east with a speed of 5 meters per second, and within 10 seconds I move towards the north like this. So this is my final velocity, which is also 5 meters per second. In order to find the average acceleration, I need final velocity minus initial velocity upon the time, basically the change in velocity by time. So first find the change. How do I find the change? Final minus initial. I already know final velocity is right over here. Negative of initial will be right over here. This is minus Vi. So whatever is there as a resultant of these two, that would be delta V. Obviously, if this is 5, this is also 5 magnitude wise. This is 90. This should be 5 root 2, right? 5 square plus 5 square. That's 2 into 5 square. Take the root. So it will be root 2 times of 5. So I got the numerator of this equation. The numerator of this equation is 5 root 2. The denominator, time, how much is it? 10. So 5 goes with 10 2 times. Root 2 by 2 is 1 by root 2. So that is the acceleration, meters per second square, but this is magnitude wise again. This is magnitude wise again. Which direction is it? This direction. So whatever is the direction of the change in velocity, that is also the direction of the acceleration. This is north, this is west. So northwest, option B. Yep. Why did I take opposite direction, Shaku? Look at the definition of change in velocity. Final minus initial velocity. Final velocity is this way. Initial velocity is this way. So negative of initial will be this way. So I will take that negative vector with this positive vector, that is vector subtraction, and I will find the resultant using triangle law, parallelogram law, whatever law you want to use. That's all. Hello Gopika, thank you so much. Nice to see you back. Is that okay, Shaku? Loving these questions, Kalpana, already? Yep. I hope this is clear. Can change in velocity and acceleration direction be different? Never, Selva. Can acceleration and change in velocity direction be different? Never ever possible. Okay? Not at all. Because look at the definition. This A and this is delta V. Both are vectors. Both are in the numerator. So whatever is this guy's sign, same sign for acceleration. So they will always be in the same direction. Moving on to another question. The trajectory of a projectile in a vertical plane is given. There are some constants. What is the maximum height attained by the particle? Master Abhay, I doubt you can write it. If you're probably in the category, maybe yes, but depends on the cutoffs for different percentiles. I would say at least aim for 97 to 98 percentile in the second attempt and then prepare in the remaining 2 months for JEE Advanced. Okay? So prepare for JEE Mains is what my suggestion would be. So how do you find the maximum height with the help of trajectory? Think guys, this is y as a function of x. I want to find maximum height. What is the speciality at maximum height? The y coordinate is maximum, or I would also say like this, if you draw a tangent to the curve, dy by dx is going to be 0. Yes or no guys? Derivative is going to be 0. That's all. So just use that. So what will be dy by dx? Dy by dx will be a derivative of x minus b into derivative of x square. Derivative is going to be 0 as per the given condition. So this will be a into 1 minus 2bx. Therefore x is equal to a divided by 2b. This is what I got. But that's not the question. The question is what's the height? The question is what's that maximum height? So that maximum height will be basically the y coordinate. It will be the y coordinate. So use this equation, a into x minus b into x square, and substitute and see what you get. But x is a by 2b. This is a by 2b. This is also a by 2b. Now see what you get guys. This will be a square by 2b minus b into a square by 4b square. 1b gets cancelled, so half minus 1/4 is 1/4. So a square by 4b is the maximum height. Where is such an option? Option A? Yes, it is. Option A, guys. Perfecto. Perfecto. Great, Mohit. Very good, Nanda. Late, little bit. It's okay. Join in. Watch the replay of the remaining part, whichever you have missed. Okay, after the session is over. For now, concentrate on the live class. It's okay, even if you guys have missed it. Awesome. Enjoying, my dear students? Enjoying these questions? Get ready for the next question coming up on your screen. A body which falls freely from height h hits an inclined plane in its path at a height h from the ground. As a result, the direction of the speed changes and it becomes horizontal. How much total time does the body take to reach the ground from the topmost point? Crazy question. Inclined plane, collision, and so many other things. Get ready guys. Let's see how many of you can solve this question. First of all, think about the diagram for this question. Think about the diagram for this question. It's a beautiful question. Trust me. Without diagram, there is no point looking at the answers. I'm not interested in the answer. I'm interested in how to solve these questions. If you draw the diagram, it will look something like this. The ball is dropped from some height. It hits the ground. It hits the inclined plane. After the impact, the velocity becomes horizontal. So the velocity becomes horizontal and it hits like this. So this is what is happening. Where does it hit the inclined plane? It hits the inclined plane at a height of h. That means this is basically your h. The total height is h, capital H. This total height is capital H. Naturally, this much will be h minus small h. That is what it is. Now, break the problem into two parts. Time to go from here to here. Time to go from here to here. Time to fall down. Time to fall here. It's very simple. The formula, remember when you drop a ball from some height, what happens? The time is root 2h by g, height by which it falls. If you drop a ball, then the height is something. So it is root of 2 height by g. The height over here is h minus h. That's the time taken to fall from here to here. Everybody gets it? Very good. Now, what about this part? This is like your projectile from the hill. Don't you see? This is like your horizontal projectile, yes or no? Although it is inclined plane, isn't it horizontal projectile? You're throwing the ball horizontally. It goes and falls at the bottom of the hill somewhere. So how much time does it take? The time taken to fall for this particular thing is again root of 2 by g and the height of the hill. Height of the hill is h. Height of the hill is h. That's it. So hence, now I know the time from here to here. I know the time from here to here. That's it. The total time will be root of 2 by g h minus h plus root of 2 small h by g. I can see root of 2 by g is common. So what will be there? Root of h minus h plus a root of h. That's it, guys. That is the answer. Where is it? Option A. See, you guys got it. Many people are going to leave this question thinking this is some crazy inclined plane problem, but it is not. The crux, or I would say the trick to solve many kinematic questions is drawing the diagram, understanding the situation, showing everything that you know, and then breaking the problems into small parts, which are much easier to solve. This was so easy. If you drop a ball, I know how much time. This is a horizontal projectile. Oh, this is also easy. So 2 easy problems is better than 1 lengthy question. Okay? Sir, won't the velocity be affected? Yes, the velocity will be affected. But Harisu, then that's the whole point. In a horizontal projectile, the time taken to fall is independent of the velocity. If you want, you can recollect this concept. You would have studied this. If this is a hill, okay, if this is a hill, doesn't matter with what speed you throw. If you throw with less speed also, it will fall here. If you throw with more speed, it will fall here. Even higher speed, it will fall here. The range will be different, but the time of fall is going to be the same time of fall. Remember this? This was also a question actually. Kiran, I doubt Bacha if we'll be able to do something for computer science board exam, but let's see if something is possible. I'll definitely try to do, but don't expect as of now. Okay, that's what I would say. Moving on. If air resistance is ignored, then the horizontal motion of oblique means incline projectile is going to be uniform acceleration, uniform retardation, variable acceleration, or uniform velocity. Draw the diagram. That's all. Okay, come on, let's see how many of you can do this. Anurag, don't spam, bacha. All right, come on, think logically. This is an inclined plane projectile. You throw that body like this, it goes like that. Okay, the question is what will happen in the horizontal direction, or if you consider the horizontal motion. This is basically your horizontal motion. We all know that acceleration due to gravity is only there in the vertical direction. So what is the component of acceleration in the x direction? It is not there. So what will happen to the velocity component in the x direction? It will be constant. Now whether it is inclined, not inclined, from a hill, or you throw it as a normal projectile, doesn't matter. The x component of the velocity, this component, will be constant. So hence it will be uniform velocity. Yes, very good. Option D. Option D. If they ask you what about the vertical component, then what will your answer be? Yes, this is for class 12th as well as 11th. This is 11th standard portions which is being done as a JEE crash course. Yeah, if it was y direction, then the answer will be uniform acceleration. Perfect. Option A. Great, great. Moving on. It is possible to throw a body at a given speed at two different directions for getting the same range. The product of the time taken in these two ways is how much? Think about it. Yeah, you can use equation of kinematics for all cases in projectile motion because acceleration is constant, Surya. Definitely you can. But the reason why you don't do that is because it is going to take a lot of time. That is what derivations are for. So they derive and give the formula. So if you apply the formula, directly get the answer. If you use it within the proper limits and conditions, obviously you'll get the answer. So it is to avoid those equations that you by heart the formulas, or else you can always use equations. Okay. So coming up over here, guys. So we know that you can get two possible ways of getting the same range for complementary angles. If one angle is theta, the other angle will be 90 minus theta. Correct? And we all know that the time of flight is basically 2u sine of that angle divided by g. So if I want t1 into t2, what will it be? It will be 2u sine theta by g into 2u sine 90 minus theta by g. So this will become 2 2s are 4, u square. This will become sine theta into cos theta, and this will become g into g square. Now I want to get in terms of range. How do I make it look like range formula? Observe. Can I not write this as, take that 2 inside, okay, this will be u square, sine theta into cos theta into 2 is basically sine 2 theta, okay, this g square I write it like this, g into g. Now observe only this part of the equation. What does this remind you of? This is basically range formula, normal range formula. So this will become 2 times range divided by g. Is such an option there somewhere? Option B. Very nice, very nice, perfect. That's what it is. Just have to know that for complementary angles, that means for theta and 90 minus theta, the range will be same but the time will be different. If it takes time t1 here, it will take time t2 here, but the range will be same. That is what it means. Beautiful. Yes, Raibiat, you can watch it for NEET also. Great. Moving on to the next question, guys, coming up on your screen. Okay, let's do this. What is this? A particle is moving along a circular path of radius 5, uniform speed 5. What will be the average acceleration when the particle completes half a revolution? Come on, think about it. How are you going to do this kind of question if it completes half a revolution? Neater, for learning all the concepts, there is a JEE crash course, bacha. But right now, this is not the time where I teach. The teaching time is over. If you still need the teaching part, I'm telling you, there is a JEE crash course. Use that. Use these sessions as revision. So this is a time where you have to revise, solve. That's all. Practice. Okay. 0. I don't think so, bacha. Be careful. It's half a revolution. No, it is not going to be 0. Half a revolution. Think about it. So this is basically half a revolution. The radius is basically 5 meters. It is going with a constant speed of 5 meters per second. So if you start over here, my initial velocity will be like this at t is equal to 0. Final velocity will be like this after some time. How much that time is, we can find it out. Time is basically distance by speed. Distance is pi r, speed is v. Pi into 5 divided by 5. So basically pi seconds. Pi seconds is the answer. Correct? For time. Now the question is not how much time does it take, how much is the average acceleration. average acceleration is the change in velocity by time. Velocity change is final minus initial by time. If final is down, initial is up. Think about it. If I take final as 5 meters per second, initial will be -5 because the direction is opposite. So this is direction sensitive, sign sensitive. So do not write 5 minus 5. That is wrong. Okay, these are vector quantities. So 5 minus of -5 divided by time. Time was pi. So this will become 10 by pi. That's it, meters per second square. That is the answer. So this is basically pi, guys. I think it doesn't look like pi, but it is pi. Yeah, option D. Yep, I hope this is clear. Yep, very good. So a lot of people write 0. Do not write that as 0. Okay, so these kind of questions can also come for change in momentum of the particle is how much. Average force is how much. If the question is average force multiplied with mass, average acceleration into mass is average force. That's it. So these kind of questions can definitely come. Another beautiful question. A particle takes t seconds less and takes v speed more in falling through the same distance on 2 different planets where accelerations are 2g and 8g. Then what is the correct relationship between the velocity as well as the time? Let's try to figure this out. Let's take planet 1 where acceleration due to gravity is basically 2g. On that planet, the velocity with which it hits will be root of 2 into gravity into height. Basically it is 2 root gh, that is v1. How much time will it take to fall? The time will be root of 2 into h by g. G is 2g. 2 to cancel, so it will become root of h by g is basically your t1. So I found final speed and final time for which the particle on one planet takes. Now the same particle for the same height on another planet where the acceleration due to gravity is 8g. What will be the velocity? V will be root of 2 into 8g into h. Standard formula. 8 2s are 16. Root 16 is 4. So 4 root gh is the velocity on the second planet. Sorry, this is second planet. What will be the time? Think about it. Root of 2 height. Height is h by g, which is 8g. 8 and 2 cancels, becomes 4. Root of 4 is 2. So 1 by 2 root of h by g is basically t2. Now think carefully. Compare this with this and this with this, because the question says that the particle takes t seconds less and acquires v speed more. So if you compare directly, you will understand that v1 and v2, their difference is v. So rather I would say v2 minus v1 is v, or rather 4 root gh minus 2 root gh. Gh is basically v, that means 2 root gh is basically v. That is one thing, not root 2 gh. I think I wrote 1 2 by mistake. Yeah, so 2 root gh is v. Understood, guys? Because it is clearly given the particle acquires v speed more, that means the difference is v. Now if it takes t times less, that means if you compare their times, one of the time is more than the other time by t seconds. So if you again take the difference, I think this time is more. So t1 minus t2 is basically t. Rather I would say root of h by g minus half root of h by g is t. So basically 1 minus half is half. So half h by g's root is t. So root of h is basically 2 root of g into t. Use this over here. Use this over here. See how? V will be 2 root g into root h, right? So what is root h, guys? Just use that formula. It is nothing but 2 into root g into t. 2 2s are 4. Root cancels, it will become g and t. That's it. So that is the answer. V is 4gt. This is 4gt. Amazing question. Look at this. Option A. How many of you were able to think till this step at least? The velocities have to be found and times have to be found. Were you able to think that much is what I want to know. Yes, Likit, I know some of you have the board exams, but it's okay, bacha. You have to watch these sessions at least in 2x speed if you want, as a recorded form, okay? Because I don't want you to lose touch, because the JEE exam is just 3-4 weeks away from now. So even if your boards are going on, and if it ends by March last week, imagine you hardly have 1 week's time. That is not enough to prepare. Yeah, I'll be sharing the slides in the as a PDF, on the Telegram channel, definitely. What about this question? A ball is dropped vertically from some height. Crazy question. It hits the ground. It bounces up to a height of half the original height. Drop, bounce, half the height. Neglecting other kinds of things and resistances, how will velocity change with height? The graph-based question. Graph-based question. Let's see how many of you can do this. Come on, my dear students. Graph-based question. Figure this out. Sir, there are PYQ courses. No, it's for 4,000 after the discount coupon YTN Lite. There is a coupon code called as ABHI. YTN Lite, you will get 1,000 rupees off. That offer should be valid even now, I hope. Option C. Looks like you guys are wrong about it, guys. I think you have seen some other question and you're trying to think about that other question in this question. You guys are not thinking properly. Think properly again. No, that is not the answer. The correct answer will be option A. It is not even going to be a straight line. Think why. Why is it not going to be a straight line? Think about it. Velocity and distance. V square is U square plus 2AH. This is the formula you're going to use. Here this is square of velocity. This is height. How can it be a straight line? So V versus H. V versus H will be a curved line, basically a parabola. It's a quadratic equation. Exactly. It's going to be a parabola. It's going to be a parabola. It's going to be a curved line. So obviously this option is wrong. Okay, it can be either this or this. Okay, understood. Now this option is even actually this is the first option that I will eliminate, and you guys said this is the correct answer. So think, these are the kinds of grave mistakes you guys are doing. So that is where you lose marks. So that's why you have to attend these classes. Okay. So next important thing, if you drop something, what will happen? The velocity will slowly increase. Velocity will increase. Velocity will increase. Height will reduce. Height from the ground will reduce. So here velocity is increasing, whereas height is decreasing. Height is decreasing. That is what is happening in this part. In the next part, as it bounces off, here velocity changes the sign, velocity reduces, and it goes up till half the height. So here velocity changed the sign. Velocity changed the sign, because if it was going down, now it is going up, and velocity is decreasing. Velocity is decreasing, and height is increasing. Height is basically increasing. Now you only think and tell me, out of graph A, B and C, don't you notice that velocity is only changing sign in this particular graph? Here velocity is positive, velocity is positive, it's on the top. Velocity is negative, velocity is negative, did not change the sign. So automatically option D and option B gets eliminated. Option D and option B gets eliminated. Understood, guys? Very good. What about this? Here velocity is positive, positive, here it is negative. Correct. You can see velocity kept reducing, okay, and height also, over here the velocity kept on increasing. The velocity, my bad, I'm so sorry. Here the velocity kept on increasing, the height kept on reducing. This is that part, the green part, this one. The velocity is increasing. You can see the value of velocity is increasing magnitude wise, and you can see the height value. The height value is going down. So this is that green part. The yellow part is this one. Yellow part is this one, where you will see the velocity slowly reduces as you go over here, and the height keeps on increasing. So hence option A is the correct one. This is the level of thinking and analysis that you should do for every question. Maybe not in the exam, but at least at home, so that quickly you can eliminate options. The first thing I would do is eliminate this. Next thing I would think, velocity should change sign. Here it is not changing sign, so B and D are wrong. Option A is correct. I won't even do this kind of analysis in the exam hall, because I've thought about many things at home. That is what I want to do. for all of you guys. I want you guys also to do the same thing at home so that in the exam you don't waste so much of time. Fatafat you will eliminate the options and narrow down on the options. Do that. Coming up to the next question on your screen, guys. Okay, get ready for it. Sir, why height not change sign like displacement? Height is measured from the ground. Height will be always on the top, right? Either it will be up or it will be down. That's the reason why height did not change the sign. Is that okay, bacha? Does that make sense? Right? Great. Cool. Cool. Let's move on now to the next question, which is going to come up on your screen. Two particles, one fired from the surface of the earth with speed of 5, other fired from the surface of a planet with 3. Chase identical trajectories. Neglecting air resistance. What is the value of acceleration due to gravity on the planet? Interesting question. There are two projectiles, two different planets, but the trajectories are same. That means this angle is same, this angle is same, height is same, height is same, range is same, range is same. This path and this path is same. That means y is equal to x tan theta minus half gx square by u square cos square theta is going to be the same. If this equation looks identical, think carefully, guys. Think carefully. Theta will obviously be same for both. And this number will also be the same for both. X and y are variables. Theta will be same and this quantity will also be the same. Yes or no? That means G1 by U1 square cos square theta 1 will be G2 by U2 square cos square theta 2. This is for particle on planet 1. This is for particle on other planet. But wait a minute. Theta is going to be the same because the equations are going to look identical. So theta 1 is equal to theta 2. So cos are going to be same. They are going to be same. So don't worry about it. Cancel it out. Now what is G1 on the first planet? It is 10. What is the speed on the first planet? It is 5. Okay. What is the gravity? I don't know. What is the speed? That is 3. So this will become G2 is equal to 3 square by 5 square into 10, which is 9 by 25 into 10. This goes 2 times, this goes 5 times. So this will be 18 by 5, which is 3.6. Is it A option? No, bacha. I think it is 3.6 meters per second square. 3.6 meters per second square. Option B. Yes, it is option B. See what kind of mistakes you guys made. See where you guys went wrong over here. Okay. So I think there was some kind of calculation mistake which you guys have done. But otherwise, this was fairly simple after this point. But you need to understand why these two things are same. Because the equations are same, the paths are same, angles are same. The y coordinates and x coordinates will be same at every given point. So that's how you compare them. Cool. Let's do another question. Daily problems or theory. Roman, I'll be giving you daily practice problems after the session is over. Okay, so you'll be getting a PDF. It will have daily practice problems. Okay, not 2 or 3, but more than at least 5 to 10 problems at least. Yeah, TechShark made a calculation mistake. Happens. So avoid these things. See why you made the calculation mistake. You don't have to lose marks. Okay, you cannot afford to lose marks. You have to get every single mark in the exam. Avoid negatives. Okay, avoid negatives. The velocity is varying with the time as shown. It's a 2D question. A and B are positive constants. What is the equation of trajectory of the point? Crazy. Now comparing, you will immediately get velocity in the x direction is A, velocity in the y direction is BT. What is the meaning of trajectory? Trajectory means avoid time. There should be no time in the equation, yes or no? There should be no time in the equation, yes or no? Great. So can I write Vx as dx by dt? Yes. And can I write Vy as dy by dt? Right? Now I got an idea. I want to get rid of time. How about dividing these two? And you know, because you have studied derivatives in detail in 12th in maths, just divide these two. So if I divide like this, dy by dt upon dx by dt will be nothing but bt divided by a. Dt cancels. So I get dy by dx is bt by rearrange. Oh, but then time will still remain. But time will still remain. So I cannot do that. If I do this, time will still remain. So there is no point doing this. So I'm just going to stop over here. But this was just showing you could have done this for some other problem. So what I will do instead, I'll integrate. So here I'll get x is equal to, or dx is equal to a dt. Integrating both sides, I'll get x is equal to at. Here, take dt on the other side. So dy is equal to bt into dt. Integrate both sides. So y will be equal to bt square. Oh, I need to eliminate time, right? So look over here. Time is actually x divided by a. From here, time is x divided by a. So what will y be equal to? Y be equal to b into x by a whole square. So this will be b x square by a square. That's, oh, by 2. I forgot that 2, my bad. This 2 will also be there. Yep. So where is such an option? I think when b square is missing. Yeah, b square is missing, I think. Just check this. Sorry, a square is missing. So I think there is this a square which was missing over here. Okay. So otherwise things are fine. Yeah. 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 I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. Right, everyone? So there was this a square which was missing over here. Okay, so b x square by 2a square. Great, great. Moving on to the next question on your screen. A boar which has a, I think this is not a boar, guys, this is a boat. Okay, this is a boat. A boat which has, what does it have? Speed of 5, moves in still water, crosses the river of width 1 kilometer, shortest possible path in 15 minutes. The speed of the water is how much? Yes, Krituk, you can revise entire JEE syllabus, but you don't have to revise every single thing, but all the main things at least, yes, you can. Definitely. 95% you can revise, Krituk Nandan. So, what can you do over here? Think about the situation. There is a river. The boat is trying to cross it with shortest possible path. What do you do when you cross it with the shortest possible path? Do you go perpendicular to the flow of the river? No, right? You move at an angle so that the river will pull you back and your net velocity is perpendicular. So your net velocity is going to be like this. This is your net velocity, but your actual velocity will be here and the river velocity will be like this. The boat will try to move like this, okay, at certain angle, and this will be the resultant motion. This is how it works. Now, in this particular question, if I take the resultant velocity like this, the boat velocity like this, the water velocity like this, boat velocity is how much? 5. So this is 5 kilometers per hour. This resultant velocity, I will call it as V. Can I find the resultant velocity? Of course, yes. Think why? Because if it goes with that resultant velocity, it has to cross a distance which is equal to the distance of the banks, distance between the banks. In how much time? 15 minutes. So I think I can use V is equal to distance upon time. Distance is basically how much? 1 kilometer. So put 1 kilometer here. Time is 15 minutes. 15 minutes is 15 by 60 hours. So this goes with this 4 times. So velocity will become 4 kilometers per hour. Yes or no? So I got the answer for velocity as 4 kilometers per hour. So how much will be this water's velocity, river's speed? Obviously, W square plus 4 square will be 5 square. So W square will be 25 minus 16, which is basically 9. So W is basically 3. That is the answer. No need to convert. Why will you not convert? Because every single thing is in kilometers. If something is in minutes, convert it into hours. So that's why I wrote 15 by 60 hours. Understood? So don't get into the habit of converting every single thing that you see, okay, into meters per second. It's not needed every time. Option B, yes, that's 3 kilometers per hour. Moving on. Beautiful question coming up on your screen again. Let's see how many of you can solve this. A car is going towards northeast at 80. Car B is going at southeast with the speed of 60. The speed of A relative to B makes an angle with the north equal to. Draw the diagram. Probably it will help you understanding the question little bit better. Else you will make some kind of stupid mistake. don't try to visualize it too much. Don't try to visualize it too much. Try to draw the initial diagram, try to write certain things about it. You will understand what to do next. Say, car is going northeast, that means it is going like this, with a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. This is for car A. That means the velocity of car A is, this will be 45, this will be 45. So 80 by root 2 I cap plus 80 by root 2 j cap kilometers per hour. I've just written it down in components. Just basic visualization. After that, I'm just writing whatever I know. I feel it's better to solve the problem in I cap, j cap. That's what I feel. What is car B's velocity? Car B's velocity is in the, southeast. It's going like this, crazy. With how much speed? 60 kilometers per hour. So velocity of car B will be 60 by root 2 I cap, but j cap will be negative, so 60 by root 2 j cap. Yes or no, guys? Minus. Why the minus? Because it is downwards. Now comes the real challenge. What is the velocity of A relative to B making an angle with the north? Okay, looks crazy, but let's understand purely by definition. Velocity of A with respect to B will be velocity of A minus velocity of B. Yes or no? Velocity of A relative to B will be VA minus VB. V12 is V1 minus V2. Same thing. So what is VA? VA is this guy. So it will be 80 by root 2 I cap, plus 80 by root 2 j cap minus this guy, 60 by root 2 I cap, minus becomes plus 60 by root 2 what, guys? J cap. So what will this be? 80 minus 60, 20. So this will become 20 by root 2 I cap. 80 plus 60, 140. So this will become 140 j cap by root 2. Okay. Now this is VAB. How will it look like? Positive I cap, positive j cap. J cap is slightly longer. Okay. So basically something I cap, something j cap. J cap is longer, so it will look like this. Yes or no, guys? This will be VAB. Yes or no? The base will be 20 by root 2. The height will be 140 by root 2. What does the question say? The question asks us to find the angle with the north. What does this velocity make with an angle does it make with the north? This is the angle asked. That means this angle is being asked because both these angles are equal. So see what is the trigonometry that you can use? Tan theta opposite by adjacent. So can I not say tan theta is opposite by adjacent? That's it. Root 2, 0, 0 goes. 2 by 14, which is 1 by 7. So theta is tan inverse of 1 by 7. Tan inverse of 1 by 7. Great. That is the answer. Why root 2 came? Many of you have that question. Guys, look over here. This is nothing but 80 cos 45. And this is nothing but 80 sin 45. Component of the velocity. I just took components of the velocity. That's all. And whenever I say the word, or any person or any booklet or any question says northeast or southwest or southeast or northwest or northeast, whatever, it is always going to make equal angle with north and east. It is not 30-60. A lot of people think if I'm going like this 30 degrees, this is northeast direction. Wrong. This is not northeast. This is north of east by 30 degrees, but it is not northeast. Northeast is exactly 45. Northwest is exactly 45. Southwest, southeast, 45 degrees. So that is what you should know. Okay? Not every angle is northeast or northwest. Clear? Can we take resultant velocity? No, Satya. There is no use of finding resultant velocity. In relative velocity, it is always vector subtraction, never vector addition. So that's why you need to put minus. If I put plus, I'll get a completely different and a wrong answer. Got it? Yep. Understood? Clear? Are you guys learning a lot? Moving on to the next question, graphical question. I want everybody to spam the answer now. Which of the following represents uniform motion? Clear? Which of the following represents uniform motion? Come on. My voice is completely gone. I'm trying my best. So come on guys. Let's see if you guys can figure this out. Option B. Wrong. Wrong. Everybody is wrong. My goodness. How is it B? How is it B? This is some curved motion. This is some curved motion. Here the slope is constant. Here the slope is constant. Here also the slope is constant. That means velocity is constant. Here changing slope is not constant, velocity not constant. Here also same thing. If this is correct, then this also should have been correct. Why did you mark B? Why not C? Think like that, no? Think like that. Yeah, think about it. If this is correct, what is the harm in this? What did this option do wrong? Even that is going to be uniform. No, even here the slope is not constant. Hence option A. Moving on. Which of the following graphs? What about projectile motion? In projectile motion, what happens is it is uniform acceleration, and that curve is such that the rate of change of slope is constant. That's why acceleration is constant, but velocity is not constant. है ना? Projectile motion is a uniform accelerated motion, but not a uniform velocity motion. Thanga. I hope this is clear. Very good, Aishwarya. I think I missed that A in all the B's, Aishwarya. Okay, which of the following cannot be possible for 1D motion of a particle? Arun saying C. That means 2 and 4. Okay, the graphs are labeled also. This is the first graph, this is second graph, this is third, this is fourth. Options are 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 2 and 4, or all of these. Very few people have got this question also correct. Well, I feel all of these are wrong. Everything has a problem. Everything. Observe why. First of all, this is distance. Distance can only increase or remain constant, but it can never decrease. How is this or this possible? Not possible. Distance can only go up. Even if you come back, distance will still increase. Displacement can increase. Next, position and time. How is it possible at a given time instant you have two different values of position? That means at this moment I am here also and I am there also. Not possible. So this is not possible, guys. At 1 o'clock I was in school also. I was at the playground also. What stupidity. Not possible. How is this possible? How can time be negative? How can time be negative? And again the same question. How is it possible that at a given time you have two different velocities? Not possible. This one, speed. How can speed be negative? How can time be negative? How can speed be negative? Speed is always positive number. Always. It's the magnitude, it's the modulus, it's the value of velocity. So speed is not negative. So none of these graphs are ever going to be physically possible. Next question coming up on your screen. Eye opener question. Very good, very good. I'm so glad your eyes are getting opened slowly. Very nice. Moving on to one more. Velocity of a body moving along a straight line with uniform acceleration reduces by 3/4 of its initial velocity. That means the particle was going with u speed. After some time it reduces by 3/4. So u minus 3u by 4, which is basically u by 4. In time t naught. So if this is t is equal to 0, this is t naught. What is the total time it takes for its velocity to become 0? Obviously it will continue its journey after this also, and finally it will come to a halt. So the question is, what is this time? One thing is for sure, in this entire motion it is continuously retarding, so acceleration is there, but it is opposite to the velocity and it is constant. So how about this? Solve from here to here. then solve from here to here. But which equation? Let's think. From here to here, initial, final speeds known, time known, acceleration I can assume. So maybe v is u plus at, of course. So using v is equal to u plus at, final velocity is u by 4 is equal to u minus a into t naught actually. So this will become a t naught is equal to u minus u by 4. So therefore a will be equal to 1 by t naught, and this will become 3u by 4. So that is what it is. Acceleration is 3u by 4 t naught. Everyone till this point done? I found acceleration. Now for the entire journey from here till here. So again I'll use v is u plus at, final speed 0, initial speed u, acceleration, oh, it's going to be negative, please keep this in mind, this will be retardation. So it will be 3u by 4 t naught, 3u by 4 t naught, and this is t. So shift it, so it will become 3u by 4 t naught into t will be equal to u gets cancelled. So what is the question? What is the total time? So t will be equal to 4 t naught by 3. That is the answer. Exactly. Option A. Option A. Only straight lines and stepped graphs are possible. Yes, Krutik, for distance only it can be not necessarily straight lines, it can be curved lines also, but it has to be increasing function or constant function. Increasing function or constant functions are valid. Okay, great, awesome. Can you use graph method? Well, you can use graph method, like you can draw a graph. At this point it was this much, at this point how much will it be? Yes, you can use the equations of straight line graphically and solve the same question, definitely. Moving on. Why not u by 4? Okay, very good, Harshni. This is a very common silly mistake. Okay, which many students do. So remember, the question says the velocity reduces by 3/4. Say if my speed was 100, it reduces by 3/4 of that 100, which is 75. So it reduces by 75. So remaining will be 100 minus 75, which is 25. So only 1/4 will be remaining. Understood? Great. Awesome. Yeah, graphs like parabola is possible. Praveen, I'll be taking your maths mock test on Saturday. I hope you guys know that on Saturday there is going to be a mock test. Physics at 10:30, chemistry at 2 o'clock, maths, I'll be conducting the mock test at 5 o'clock. And I will be waiting for all of you. So you guys have to put in your 100%. You guys have to be here, because in spite of my throat not working so well, you can feel it. I don't know. You can hear it or not. But yeah, I am here because I know in these last 4 weeks you need me more than anything, because you will definitely study at home, but you need somebody in front of you solving questions, helping you. Because think about it, if you don't attend these classes, it's a time which is just going waste. You might just think about negative things. You might just be confused what to do. You might just be solving problems but not getting the solutions. Rather, instead of that, you are watching this class, which is so efficient, and you're solving so many questions in this short time and learning so many things. So that is what you need to do. Yeah. Harshini, you can just rewind back, bacha. You can just rewind back, always. Okay. Two bodies, A and B, start from rest, has the same point with uniform acceleration 2. A starts 1 second later, then the two bodies are separated at the next second by how much distance? Simple. If body A goes some distance, body B goes some distance, what is the distance of separation is the question. So for the first part, S is ut plus half at square if you use. So if I call this as S1, S1 will be ut plus half at square. It starts from rest. Acceleration is 2. Time is 2 seconds. So this will be basically 4 meters. For this guy, S2 will be nothing but again ut plus half. Acceleration is same, but just 1 second less it will travel, because it starts after 1 second. So till 2 seconds it would have traveled 1 second less than A. So if A traveled for 2 seconds, understand, this has started only at 1 second, so actual time is only 1 second. So there is a big difference between them. Okay, so there is a big difference. So actually this line should have been shown a little bit longer, my bad. but you get the idea. Yeah, this should have been slightly longer. Question is, what is this? So question is now, what is the difference between the two? What is the difference between the two? The delta x will be basically 4 minus 1, which is basically 3 meters. That's it, 3 meters. Option C, I guess, C for Captain Shreyas. Yeah, that's the answer. Great. Moving on to the next one. So you just have to find this distance, you have to find this distance, 4, and this is basically 1, right? That's how you get it. 4 minus 1 is 3. Moving on, a particle is dropped from a height and another particle is projected in the horizontal direction, same height, then which is correct? So you are at a height and what you are doing is you are dropping a particle like this. This is particle A, and another particle B you are throwing it with some speed. Okay, this is particle B. Question is, what will be same or different for both these particles? Come on, everybody should be knowing this. Yes, Ashish, this session will continue for more, at least half an hour. Come on. Option C, yes, both the particles will reach the ground at the same time. Perfect. Yes, that's the correct answer, guys. Here, the time of flight is root of 2h by g. Remember, just some time back I was telling you that even if the speed is less, doesn't matter, the time taken is going to be the same. It only depends on the height, that's all. So the time taken is the same, the speeds are going to be different, that's all. Moving on. A stone falls freely under gravity. The total distance covered by the stone in the last second of its journey is equal to the distance covered by it in the first 3 seconds of its motion. What is the time for which the stone stays in air? Yes, even if you have not studied, this session is going to be useful. So if you drop this stone like this, let's say it takes n seconds to fall. This is t is equal to 0. In the last second, whatever it travels is equal to the distance traveled in the first 3 seconds. In the first 3 seconds, it travels this much. This is t is equal to 3. This displacement will be equal to, if I use ut plus half at square, so this will be 0 plus half into g into 3 square, which is basically 9g by 2. That is this much. What about this part in the last second? This is the last second. I will use the formula u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. Snth formula. This will be 0 plus gravity by 2 into 2 into n minus 1. So now these both are equal. As per the question, it is equal. That is clearly mentioned. So hence 9g by 2 is equal to g by 2 into 2n minus 1. Can't you see g, 2 gets cancelled. I am left with 9 and is equal to 2n minus 1. 10 is equal to 2n. So n is equal to 5. That means 5 seconds. That is the total time of flight. It takes n seconds to fall. That's all. As the answer, option A. You just need to know the formulas, apply it, equate it, that's it. Beautiful question. So this question can definitely come in your JEE Mains. These kind of questions are very common in JEE Mains. The displacement in n second is equal to the displacement in this second, or the displacement in n second is 5 times more than this. So these kind of questions expect in your JEE Mains. Next one. There's a person in the balloon, very nice. He's going up with an acceleration. He throws the ball after 2 seconds. Then the question is, what is the maximum height that the ball reaches? Let's try to understand what is happening. So there is a balloon. Okay, there's a balloon. It starts rising up with an acceleration of 5 meters per second square. After 2 seconds, the balloon will reach here. Okay, the balloon will reach here. This is at t is equal to 0. This is at t is equal to 2 seconds. It has already reached certain height. It would have also acquired certain velocity. At this point, what you do is you throw a ball or you drop a ball. That ball will also have the same velocity as that of the balloon because it's a part of the balloon. Same system. As the balloon is going up, the ball is also going up. So when you drop it, the ball also has that velocity, but after that it is no longer touching that balloon. So what will that ball do? That ball will basically do a free fall motion. It will have a free fall motion. Free fall means the acceleration will be due to gravity only. That's all. Now the question is, what is the maximum height that the ball reaches from the ground? So I feel we should find this height. We should find this height. This plus this will give me the total height. Let's do that. Not a difficult thing. Let's assume this velocity to be v1, this height to be h1. Just assume. So what will be v1? U plus at. U is basically 0. Acceleration is 5. Time is 2. So it will be 10 meters per second. That is v1. What about h1? h1 is ut plus half acceleration time square. U is 0. Acceleration is 5. Time is 2. So 2 by 2, 2. 2 into 5, 10. So 10 meters. That is h1. This is only this part of the problem. What about this part? Think logically, guys. Whatever is the speed of the balloon is also the speed of the ball. And it has gone up by some height. How much height will it go? Let's say I call this height as h2. That height h2 is velocity square by 2g. Remember, whenever you throw a ball up, what happens? The maximum height is speed square by 2g. So what is the speed? What is the speed? I think I got it over here, 10. So 10 square by 2 into 10. And 10 cancels, 10 by 2 is 5. So 5 meters. But that is not the question. The question is, what is the maximum height, the total height? This height is this 10 plus this much. So 10 plus 5, which means it is 15 meters. Which means it is 15 meters. There you go. Did you love this question? Yes, Uchicha, Shifu, definitely you can. Dimensions, yeah, you can expect one question at least from units, dimensions and errors. Not necessarily dimensions, but yeah, the entire chapter you will get one question. You can expect like that. Is that okay, bacha? Great. Awesome, awesome. Moving on to the next question coming up on your screen. A body starts from rest with uniform acceleration. If the velocity after n seconds is v, then its displacement in the last 2 seconds is how much? Come on. Interesting. A body starts with uniform acceleration. If the velocity after n seconds is v. Okay, interesting. Body starts from rest. So t is equal to 0. Velocity is 0. It starts from rest. It accelerates uniformly. And at t is equal to n seconds, basically the velocity is given to be v. And the displacement in the last 2 seconds. So that means from here to here, t is equal to n minus 2 to t is equal to n. What is this displacement going to be? Simple. That displacement is displacement till n seconds minus displacement till n minus 2 seconds. From here to here, whatever is my displacement, subtract that with this much. This and this, if I subtract, I will be getting this much. This is the displacement in the last 2 seconds, yes or no? That's all. So what is this? 0 plus half a t squared. Time here is n minus initial speed 0 plus half a into n minus 2 whole square, which is the time. So what will you get? A n square by 2 minus, here you will have a by 2. First term is obviously n square. Next term again a by 2. 2 square will be the next term minus, and then you will have a by 2, and then you will have 2 times ab, just 2 into n into 2. This is what it is going to be. So this will become a n square by 2. This will become minus a n square by 2 minus 2a. Minus minus becomes plus. So it will become 1, 2 gets cancelled. So 2an. This and this gets cancelled. So I'm just left with 2a common, and then n minus 1. N minus 1. That's it. But I don't have to leave the answer in terms of a. Read the options carefully. None of the options contain a. So what do I do for that? Use this equation. V is u plus at. U is 0. Acceleration is a. Time is n. So basically acceleration is v by n. So substitute that over here as v by n. just substitute it as v by n, that's it. Here you will get 2 into v by n into n minus 1. Is that an option? Yes, 2v into n minus 1 by n. So the moment you get stuck, think which other equation can you use to get rid of that variable. Here I immediately notice, I don't want acceleration, I want velocity. Okay, so velocity I know is u plus at. So you have to think on that spot. I cannot make you by heart these steps, nor you should even sit and by heart these steps. It has to click on the spot. Acha, n minus 2 displacement will be total displacement minus displacement till n minus 2 seconds. Okay, substitute everything, keep solving, you get something. Expect 8 marks to 12 marks from this chapter. Whatever unit I am discussing now, 8 marks, that means 2 questions. Yes, bare minimum. It can be as a combination also. Sometimes kinematics comes as a combination, like as a part of work power energy, or as a part of electromagnetic induction, or it could be a part of gravitation. You don't know. It can come as combination questions, and that time you cannot really say is this chapter for 8 marks or 12 marks, because if you don't know this chapter, then you can't solve that question in spite of knowing gravitation or electromagnetic induction. That's how it is. Okay, 2 bikes traveling in the same direction, moving with speed of 30. The bikes are separated by 5. What should be the speed of the car going in the opposite direction so that the car meets the bikes at an interval of 4 minutes? At an interval of 4 minutes, think about the situation. Bike 1 is going with the speed of 30. Another bike 2 is also going with the speed of 30. The separation between them, how much? 5 kilometers. 5 kilometers. Car is coming from the opposite side. So this is how the car is coming with the speed of v. The car crosses the bikes within 4 minutes. Okay, my logic is like this. What is the relative velocity between the bike and the car? Think about it. Bike is going with 30, car is coming with v. So will it be 30 minus v or 30 plus v? They both are opposite, no? They are coming closer. So what will happen? They will add, right? So won't it be 30 plus v? Yes or no? 30 plus v. Okay, next important thing. Between the bike and the car, relative speed is 30 plus v. Now this relative velocity, I can write as relative velocity is relative distance upon time taken. The relative velocity is 30 plus v. The relative distance, think for that car when it sees one bike to get to the next bike, how much distance has it traveled? Relatively, you can see that the next bike has traveled 5 kilometers with respect to that car. If you are the car, you will see the bike coming towards you in the next 4 minutes by 5 kilometers. Yes or no? So won't the relative distance be 5? And what is the time? That is 4 minutes. So 4 minutes in hours will be 4 by 60 hours. Does that make sense? Exactly. So this is 5 kilometers. So now do the regular math. This goes with 60 15 times. 15 goes with 5. 15 into 5 will be 75. This will be 30 plus v. So v will be 45 kilometers per hour. That's it. That's the answer. Exactly. There you go. So Anjan, remember bacha, simple logic. Whenever things come close or they are going away, approach or separate. Okay, approach basically opposite directions, then use plus. So it is always v1 plus v2. When the directions are opposite, use plus. Understood? They will add. But if one is going like this, this is going like this, or this is going like this is going like this, same direction, then the relative velocity will be v1 minus v2 or v2 minus v1, whichever is bigger. So I'll just put mod over here. Okay? So when they come close, they are coming towards each other faster. So if this is going with 30, this is going with 50, relative speed will be 80. I am going with 50, somebody is coming with 30, so relative speed will be smaller. Subtract 50 minus 30. You can watch this for NIT also, Sai Kiran. Okay, moving on to the next question. A man standing on a road has to hold the umbrella at 30 degrees with the vertical to keep the rain away. He throws the umbrella, starts running at 10. He finds the rain drops are hitting his head vertically. What is the speed of the raindrops with respect to the ground? Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. See, when the person is just standing, he has to hold the umbrella at 30 degrees means the rain is falling at an angle of 30 degrees with the vertical. If he moves, he finds the rain to fall vertically down, meaning the relative velocity of the rain with respect to man is vertically down. Now, what is the relation between this guy and this guy? Simple equation. What is that equation? Velocity of rain with respect to man is velocity of the rain minus velocity of the man, which is as good as saying Vr plus negative Vm. So this guy is this guy plus negative of the velocity of the man. So I know what to do now. Vrm, if I show it like this, you can just show Vr over here. So naturally this will be minus Vm. Does that make sense? Vector addition of using triangle method. This vector plus this vector is this resultant vector. Why this minus Vm? Because of the equation. Why this equation? Because that's the definition of relative velocity. I hope this is clear. Right? Now observe, this angle is 30 degrees. This magnitude is clearly given. What is the speed of the person? 10 kilometers per hour. The speed is 10 kilometers per hour. Yes or no? This 10 kilometers per hour. Very good. So what will Vr be? Come on, immediately you should be able to answer. Which trigonometric identity? Sine 30. Sine 30 is opposite side by hypotenuse. So Vr will be 10 by sine 30. Sine 30 is half. Half and that goes on the top. So it will become 10 into 2, which is 20. That is the answer. Exactly. How many of you got 20 as the answer, guys? Everyone? With me? Very good, Nandini. Excellent. Excellent. Wow, we have come to the JEE PYQs part. Although some of these questions were also PYQ questions, although I did not mention them, but these questions are exclusively shortlisted as PYQs. Okay, so let's do some PYQs. Are you guys all excited and all energetic, guys? Are you guys all excited for the PYQs? Get ready. Very few PYQs are there, but amazing PYQs. Let's see if you guys can solve this within 10 to 20 seconds, not more than that. This question is very easy. This has come as PYQs. Why I'm showing you PYQs? This is to give you that confidence. Listen, bacha, you can solve the PYQs. If you are solving, all these questions, you should get that confidence. Looking at these questions, the difficulty level, pattern, the model, okay. You should be like, okay, if these are the kind of questions, I can definitely do it. You will not leave the questions. You will not have that, a picture in your mind that, oh my God, this kinematics or 2D relative always difficult. No, these kind of questions also come. Excited? Very good. What's the answer? Come on. If he wants to swim the river in the shortest time, what should happen? If this is the river, he has to swim like this, right? This is the flow. He will swim in this direction. Yeah, he will reach somewhere here. There will be some drift, but the strokes will be in this direction. Due north, I believe. Due north, yeah. So I think it should be option A. If it was shortest distance, then things will be different, guys. Then you will have to think carefully. He will have to swim like this so that the river will pull him here and resultant will be here. So in that case, this angle you will have to find with the north and all of that. So here you will say tan theta will be the river velocity by the swimmer velocity. River velocity will be how much? River is flowing east towards east, west to east is speed is 5. Swimmer speed 10. Yeah. So this is basically half. So this is not tan theta, my bad, this is sine theta, guys, so sorry, this was supposed to be sine theta. So sine theta is half, so theta is basically 30 degrees. So 30 degrees with north for shortest distance, guys. So 30 degrees towards the west of north, that would be the answer for distance. But the question is for time. So for time, the answer will be option A. Yep, I hope this is clear. Moving on to the next question. Inclined plane. Yes. I will take up EM-SAT classes also, definitely, later on. Misconception clear. Yeah, Chippa, you are very late, bacha. It's almost like, oh, we started at 10:30, right? It's 12:30 already. I didn't realize. I thought it was 11:30, guys. Oh my God, 2 hours already done. Crazy. Nice. A plane is inclined at an angle respect to the horizontal. A particle is projected with a speed of 2 from the base of the plane, making an angle 15. Then question is, what is the distance from the base at which the particle hits the thing? What is that? Particle hits the plane. Okay, interesting. So basically it's just the range. Question is, what is the range? What is the range? Yeah. So come on guys, use the formulas, whatever you have learned. Is the formula available? Or do you remember the formula? What is the formula? The formula is R is equal to 2 U square sine theta minus alpha into cos theta divided by G cos square alpha. If I tell you what theta and alpha is, this is not theta actually. This entire thing is called theta. Whatever they have given, forget that. This entire thing is called theta. This much angle of inclination is called alpha, as per the formula, not as per the question. So if you notice, alpha is still going to be 30 degrees. The total theta is 15 plus 30, which is going to be 45 degrees. Speed is already given as 2. So start substituting and see what you get. 2 into 2 square into sine 45 minus 30 into cos 45 divided by G, which is 10. Cos alpha, cos that is 30. So cos 30 but square. So this will become 2 into 2 into 2. That's 8. In fact, I can cancel one of the 2 with this guy. So this will become 4 by 5. Sine of 15 into cos 45. That's 1 by root 2. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Square it. It will become 3 by 4. Okay. So this is just going to be 16 and 5 3s are 15. And this will be root 2 into sine 15 is root 3 minus 1 by 2 root 2. This 2 goes with 16 8 times. Root 2 into 2 will become 2. 2 goes with 8 4 times. Right? Just check this out. So this will be 4 by 15 into root 3 minus 1. That's the answer. Yep, there you go. There you go. Life for him, don't spam, bacha. If you spam, I don't think I should be answering you guys. Yeah, 4 by 15 into root 3 minus 1. This is the formula which you should know for up the incline. If this same question was there, where the particle is coming from the top and going down, where will the change in the formula be? Let's see if you guys can do that. In this entire formula, one small thing will change. If you throw it from the top and it comes down, what will that thing change? What is that thing which is going to change? It's only the sign, correct? Instead of this minus, it's just going to become plus. That's all. Rest everything is the same. Yeah. So it comes out to 20 centimeters approximately when you substitute root 3 as 1.732. Substitute everything and you'll get the answer. Okay. There you go. Moving on. Next question. A parachutist after bailing out falls 50 meters without friction, and when he opens, he decelerates at 2. He reaches the ground with a speed of 3. At what height did he bail out? Interesting. Crazy question. So imagine this is our Pandu and he has started falling. He bailed out. He bailed out over here. Okay, this is at t is equal to 0. He is going to accelerate like a free fall. That means g acceleration. He starts from rest, let's assume. Okay, after bailing out, falls 50 meters without friction. Falls 50 meters without friction. Now at this point, what will happen is he will get some velocity. Let's assume it as v. Now what happens is this Pandu, he opens his parachute. Okay, crazy. That's his parachute, let's assume. Okay, he opens his parachute and now he retards, I believe, he retards at 2 meters per second square. But because he has some velocity, that velocity will take some time to, reduce to 0. In fact, by the time he reaches the ground, the speed is still going to be 3. The speed is still going to be 3 meters per second by the time he reaches the ground. This is the diagram of the question. If you don't draw the diagram, if you don't enjoy the question, if you don't understand what is happening, no point solving it. You can't solve it expecting that everything will be correct. You will make a silly mistake. So visualize the question. Okay, great. Obviously, like for him, I will not give a reply, bacha. If you try to spam, there is no point. I don't reply to spammers. You put the question once, I will reply if it's irrelevant. Okay, so coming back to this, over here. From here to here, when you descend by 50 meters, what will be my velocity? How do I find that out? I think I'll use v square is u square plus 2s, because I know the distance, I know the acceleration, I know the initial speed, I need to know the final speed. So v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Initial speed 0, acceleration 10, that's gravity, displacement 50. So this will become nothing but 1000. So basically v will be 10 root 10 meters per second. Okay, I'll keep it on the side. Now what do I do for this part? This velocity will now become the initial velocity. 10 root 10 will become its initial velocity. Final velocity I know, acceleration I know. I think I can find the displacement. How? Again use v square is u square plus 2as. Final speed 3. Initial speed 10 root 10. So 10 root 10 square plus, or rather minus because it is retardation. 2 into displacement. 3 square 9. This will be 1000 minus 4s. So 4s will be 991. So s will be 991 by 4. How much will it come out to be approximately? How much will it come out to be approximately? Come on, approximately 248 meters. So what will your final answer be? 248 is there as option B, but are you going to sit and mark option B? I don't think so. Read the question. At what height did he bail out? He bailed out at this height. So be very careful. So the total height will not just be this height, which you got it as 248, but also that 50 meters. So 248 plus 50. Look at the options. 248 is there as the option. Many students would have marked this and got -1. That is not correct. So it will be approximately 298 meters. Exactly. Option A it is. There you go. Next question. A car starting from rest accelerates at the rate of f for a distance s, continues with constant speed, and then decelerates. If the total distance is 15s, then what do you think? Okay, simple. I'll tell you what. I start from rest. I travel a distance of s. I acquire some speed. Let's say I call it as v1. I maintain that speed for certain distance, let's say s2. I maintain that speed. And then here I accelerated at f, right? Acceleration rate was f. Here I decelerate at f by 2. I decelerate at f by 2. Starting from the same speed, obviously if I stop, then think logically, guys. If my acceleration becomes half, then the time taken or the displacement that I undergo, those things will be double, right? If I am accelerating at f meters per second square and I travel s distance to acquire this speed, so if I decelerate at half the acceleration, slowly I will travel double the distance to reduce the speed by the same amount. Yes or no? Life for him, like I said, bacha, I will be conducting EMSAT specific classes after JEE Mains. Okay, for now use these classes for your EMSAT, but yes, I'll be taking up EMSAT classes after JEE Mains on this channel only, don't worry. So can I not directly say that this distance will just be 2s? This will be 2s. What will this distance be? Well, this s2 will be speed into the time which you take to go from here to here. Now how much time you take, I do not know. I just don't know. I'm just going to call it T2. I'm just going to call it T2. Do I know V1? Yes. V1 is U plus AT. So U is 0, acceleration is F. Time, well, continues at a constant speed for, oh, I do not know. I'll just call that as T1. So V1 is FT1. V1 is F into T1. So use this over here. So S2 will be FT1 into T2. Interesting. FT1 into T2. Now the total distance is 15s. So 15s is this s plus this s2 plus this 2s. So take those s's on the other side. So minus s minus 2s will be s2. So 12s will be s2. S2 is ft1 into t2. Interesting. But still I'm nowhere close to the answer. Still I've not yet got the answer. So what do? Think logically again. Can I write s in terms of something else? I think I can. Observe how. I can write s is ut plus half a t square. Initial speed 0, acceleration f, time is t1. So why not write s as just f t1 square by 2. Use this over here. So this will become, instead of s, I'll write it as f t1 square by 2. F t1 square by 2. Rest of the things as it is. 12 is equal to f t1 into t2. See, what and all will get cancelled. T1, this 2, this goes with 12 6 times. I think I have got the value of t2, guys. Or even ff got cancelled. So I think I got the value of t2 in terms of t1. So 6 t1 is equal to t2. I got this. 6 t1 is equal to t2. Okay, but still not there. Crazy question. Very difficult question as compared to the JEE main standard. But very few people will do this and they'll get 99 percentile. So what do you do now? Question is find s, right? Put the value of t1 over here. So this will become, s will be equal to f by 2. Instead of t1, put t2 by 6 whole square. So this will become f t2 square, 6 square 36, 36 into 2 72. But wait a minute, if you notice, the particle continues with constant speed for time t. That means t is actually t2. So that's it. This is actually f t square by 72. That's the answer. Yeah. So crazy question. Beautiful question actually. Okay. So lots and lots of kinematic equations. Visualizations are there. Variables are there. They look confusing. But if you go with the flow and if you concentrate and focus and solve it, you will get the answer. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Last few questions, guys, coming up on your screen. Hardly any few questions are remaining now after this. Okay, some hardly 3-4 questions. Okay, moving on. A boy is playing on the roof of a 10-meter high building, throws a ball at speed of 10, angle of 30. How far from the point will the ball be at a height of 10 meters from the ground? Let's see. So the boy is at a height of 10 meters from the ground on a roof. This is the roof of the building. He throws the ball at an angle of 30 degrees, speed of 10 meters per second, 30 degrees. The question is, after some time, the ball will again, come at a height of 10 meters. Question is, at what distance will that ball come at that same height? That means the range. Isn't it a range? Think about it. Although you are at a height and many people think, oh, this is a projectile from a height problem. No, technically the ball is coming back to the same height. So you are coming back to the same level. Just have to find the range. The question is exactly that. How far from the throwing point will the ball come at the same height? So use the formula. U square sine 2 theta by g. U is basically 10. Sine of, what is it? 2 into 30, which is 60. divided by 10, which is 10 root 3 by 2, which is 5 root 3. Substitute and see what is the answer that you are getting. I think you should get it as 8.66. Put root 3 as 1.7, 17 into 5 approximately will give you 86. Yeah, so put that decimal, you will get it as 8.6. Cool? Everyone with me? Done, done. Are you getting that confidence, my dear students, that you will be able to crack the exam? Yeah. So all different kinds of question. If you notice, every question that I have been solving today, every question has been different than the previous question, because I want you to see all kinds of question. So when you see a question in the exam, now like, Arey, Shreyas sir had done this. Arey, Shreyas sir had told how to do this part of the question. Maybe you will not get the exact same question. Maybe you will have to use 2 questions to solve one question. Or maybe you will have to use this much of this question, this much of this question. But you will remember in the exam that, Arey, this looks familiar to me. So you will not leave the question, guys. The position is given by this. What will be the position when it achieves maximum speed along the x-axis? Looks like a maxima minima question to me. Application of derivatives, maths kind of question. Position is given. So velocity dx by dt will be 9 into 2t minus 3t square, which is 18t minus 3t square. That is velocity. Now to find the maximum velocity, what do? Derivative, maxima minima, dv by dt. dv by dt should be 0. So what is dv by dt? It is 18 minus 60. So basically 0 is 18 minus 60, correct? So 60 is equal to 18. So t is basically 3 seconds. So at 3 seconds the speed is maximum. So use that to find the velocity. So velocity is 18 into the question is not velocity, find the position. The question is find the position, guys. So let's find the position using this formula. So x will be 9t square, that means 3 square minus 3 cube. So this will be 9 9s are 81 minus 27, which is which is basically 54 meters. That is the answer. Option A, is it? Yep, it is. Yashika, my name is Captain Shreyas. Yeah, you can call me Captain. You can call me Captain, or you can just call me Shreyas, sir. All right, great. The x and y coordinates of the particle are given as this and this. Again, a derivative based question. The acceleration of the particle at 2 seconds is how much? That's the question, guys. Come on, let's see how many of you can do this. X separate, y separate. So obviously everything will be separate. Vx will be dx by dt. So that will be 5 minus 2 into 2t, which is 5 minus 4t. Ax will be derivative of x velocity. So it will be 0 minus 4, which is minus 4. Okay. Similarly, do for y. Vy will be dy by dt, which means it will be 10. That means acceleration in the y-axis, which is dvy by dt, will be 0. Now the final part. What is the total acceleration? It will be root of ax square plus ay square. Ax is 4, ay is 0. So hence the answer will be just 4 meters per second square. That is the answer. Option C. Yep. Sometimes this may not be 0. Sometimes this may be 0. Who knows? The idea is x and y components will be separate. Don't add these accelerations. You find this acceleration to be 4, this acceleration to be 2. Total is not 4 plus 2. It will be 4 square plus 2 squares root. Okay? Because they are in different perpendicular directions. Resultant will be the hypotenuse. Wow, what a question we have now. Again, this was the PYQ. In PYQs, you can see a lot of derivative based questions have been asked. If particle P's position is this, if another particle's position is this, at what time do they have no relative velocity? No relative velocity. What do you mean by this word? It means velocity of P is equal to velocity of that Q. Their velocities are equal, so there is no relative motion. Nobody is going ahead or overtaking the other. So that means derivative of the positions are going to be equal, right? So what is the derivative for the first guy? AT's derivative will be A plus 2BT will be this guy F minus 2T. Rearrange. So basically I think you can just take this guy over here. So 2BT plus 2T is equal to F plus A. Okay, sorry, F minus A, my bad. F minus A, and then T common, so even 2 common, so it will be B plus 1 is equal to F minus A. So T will be F minus A. Take this 2 and B plus 1 below, so 2 into B plus 1. So I think this should be the answer. Is that there somewhere? Yep, it is. Option D. There you go. Awesome, awesome. Very good. Crazy. Wow, so we come to an end of this practice session, but don't worry. There are more problems for you guys to practice. I have kept it up as your slides in the PDF, which you're going to get in the Telegram channel. Where is the Telegram channel? Let me just show that to you. Okay, as you're watching this class over here, let's see. Yep. So as you're watching my class, just go down. Okay, in the description box, guys. And over here, you will see that the Vedantu JEE English Telegram channel link is right over here. Click on this link. Make sure you have the Telegram app installed and open up the app. You will see the PDF after some time, not immediately, after some time. Every day I will be also giving you short notes. Short notes for today's session are already put up in the Telegram channel. Okay, just use it. Next important link, if you want more theory, you want more mock tests, more assignments, you know what to do. There is this JEE crash course for 4,000 rupees. Click on this link. You have this crash course in English, which has live classes, assignments, PDFs, post-class doubt solving, as well as all India level test series. It's just for 4,000, 20% off for the remaining days. Full support you're going to get. Okay, all the best teachers are going to teach you in English for JEE mains second attempt. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this class. Next class is going to be tomorrow at 10:30 again. That will be for Newton's laws, friction, circular motion. Okay. Come up over here in full support, full energy, full josh. I want you with the right positive mindset. Even if you are low in life, even if you have not studied these chapters, trust me, watching Shreyas sir solve over here will build that confidence, will get back those concepts, will help you revise those concepts. So don't waste your time anywhere else. You have to be just over here. Okay, so just put up in the comment section after the session is over, kinematics done and dusted, so that I know you guys have attended the lecture. Okay, bye bye guys, have a great time. Looking forward to see your comments. Do not forget to smash the like button and stay subscribed on the channel. See you tomorrow at 10:30. Bye bye, hasta la vista.